well best of luck here
Yeah,
thank
thank
you
you.
I appreciate thatโอเคขอคุยกับไอตันอีกคนนึงครับแน่นอนนะพลาดไม่ได้ครับสวัสดีครับน้องไอตันครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ ได้ยินไหมครับ
โอ้โหวันนี้เป็นครั้งแรกนะฮะกับการแข่งขันล้อเปิดแล้วก็เป็นครั้งแรกที่มาในเรสในสนามบางแสนมีความรู้สึกอย่างไรบ้างครับไอตันครับ
ก็ตื่นเต้นครับเพอรถค่อนข้างจะเร็วครับ มี Apex Speed มี Downforce เยอะ
เร็วมากจริงๆนะ
ใช่ครับ
จากเห็นการคุริฟายแล้วก็เหตุการณ์ต่างๆเกิดขึ้นในแทร็กนี้สตรีทเซอร์กิตเป็นยังไงครับไอตันพูดหน่อยครับ
ก็แข่งกันเอาเสียวครับ ใครใกล้กำแพงสุดเร็วสุดครับ
ครับแน่นอนว่าแฟนๆทุกคนพยายามเอาใจช่วยนะครับแล้วก็เป็นอีกหนึ่งปรากฏการณ์กับการที่ได้มีนักแข่งชาวไทยเนี่ยไอตันและพัตเตอร์ด้วยนะมาร่วมแข่งอยู่ในรายการนี้ฝากถึงแฟนๆหน่อยครับไอตันครับ
ฝากเชียร์ผมด้วยนะครับ ไอตันอัศธรครับ หมายเลข 51 ครับ
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 ขอบคุณครับไอ
ขอบ
ตัน
คุณ
ค
ค
รั
รับ บ สวัสดีครับ
โอเคครับคุณผู้ชมครับสำหรับรุ่นนี้นะครับใครจะเป็นแชมป์ในรุ่นฟอร์มูล่าสูตร4ติดตามกันให้ดีและเชียร์น้องไอตันและน้องพัตเตอร์ด้วยครับติดตามกันให้ดีครับ
Sawadee Cup. Hello, everybody, and welcome along to the Battle by the Beachfront here in Bang Sen for race 7 of the 2025 F4 Southeast Asia Championship certified by FIA. My name's Alex Goldschmidt here to talk you through the action of race 1 today and race 2 tomorrow. The F4 Southeast Asia Championship certified by FIA is going to be running for 2 25-minute plus an additional lap races around this 3.74 kilometre anti-clockwise 20-turn circuit. It's been in operation since 2007. There is Rishon Rajiv, who unfortunately picked up 2 penalties post-qualifying, one for being one of 4 drivers that unfortunately did not heed the briefing notification from our race director Jeanette Tan and her team, decided to move before they were allowed to leave the pits after the red flag stoppage following a big crash for Origin Motorsports Wang Zhongwei in the number 22, which brought out the red flag. Rishon Rajiv also picked up a further place grid penalty for impeding current championship leader and the man that has won 6 races from 6, the number 12 of Vietnam's Alex Sawyer from Evans Grand Prix. There's Warapong Aimwichan, one of 2 Thai drivers on the grid this weekend, but it was Ayrton Astadorn that stole the show yesterday, despite spinning out on his last lap in qualifying yesterday, sporting some damage to the front wing. And there is Thomas Yuli from the United States, also with Korean heritage from Evans Grand Prix, the only Masters driver in this series. And Alex Sawyer leads on 188 points ahead of Australian teammate Seth Gilmore. And more to the point, can there be a surprise from this man here, Ayrton Astadorn, doing a really good job in qualifying, setting not only the fastest overall lap, but the second fastest overall lap, as it's time for the drivers to start their 1.4 litre turbocharged 160 brake horsepower engines that share a similarity with the road-going Fiat Abarth F595 Competizione. It is, and you can see there's a lot of activity in the pit lane with open plan garages. And we're on the eastern part of Thailand, smack bang in the middle of Bangkok and Pattaya City. It will be a standing start. And can Alex Sawyer continue the clean sweep so far this season? If he picks up the 2 wins here in Bang Sen as part of the Bang Sen Grand Prix spectacular this weekend, the headline series being the Be Quick Thailand Super Series, it is more to the point of how things will go. And then when the drivers line up, it will be the case of now the drivers get going. And there you see from the Skycam the drivers now making their way out onto this circuit. It's got a hint of Macau. It's got a hint of Monte Carlo. Maybe a little bit of Baku from Azerbaijan as we get underway with our official formation lap. 25 minutes plus an additional lap here of the Bangsan Street Circuit. FIA Grade 3 homologated back in 2017. Of course, one driver not taking part this weekend after suffering a wrist injury after free practice 2. That was Black Art Racing's Joshua Berry, the Singaporean driver in the number 7, is going to have to sit out for this one, but we hope he gets well soon, and I'm sure that he'll be back in action for the penultimate race weekend of the season that will see our second trip to the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia, not too far outside of Kuala Lumpur, for the 5th to the 7th of September. And then the 19th to the 21st of September, we'll see the final round also at the former home of the Malaysian Grand Prix. These particular cars. But here is the grid. It's Alex Sawyer and Ayrton Astadon on the front row of the grid, obviously with the penalty given to the Thai driver post-qualifying yesterday afternoon. Row 2 is Seth Gilmore and the Philippines, Inigo Anton for Black Arts Racing, the Hong Kong-based outfit. Row 3. It's Rishon Rajiv, the Indian star for Black Arts Racing, and Origin Motorsports Wang Zhongwei in the numbers 25 and 22. They comprise row number 3 of the starting grid. Row 4 will be Ben Nguyen from Vietnam and Thomas Yu Lee from the United States, the only Masters driver in the number 56. Bringing up the rear of the grid will be Thailand's Warapong Amwichan for Star Performance. As I said, unfortunately, no Joshua Berry from Singapore. He will be sitting out and he'll have some time to recover, but I'm sure that he would be wanting to be able to get onto the grid. And there you see the seaside here in the Chonburi province of Thailand. Wonderful water in the background. There's going to be a lot of humidity because obviously when you're based closer to the water, there has been some fluid drop down on the circuit. We did have the Super Truck D1s out not too long ago, and so there has been some fluid spilt on the track. So the marshalling team and the recovery crew have used the quick quick dry cement. So the drivers will be running on the Slick Gitti competition tyres, mounted onto OZ wheels, Dixel being the official brake component suppliers, with the calipers supplied by Brembo. With these cars, the Tatuus F4 T421, it's the second generation of the F4 class. There's ex-F1 star Alex Young, the man leading the charge for Black Arts Racing, the Malaysian, also has son Alistair, who's also very much involved with the team. Alex also involved in the world of sim racing with Axel Sports, based out of Kuala Lumpur as well. Had the opportunity to chat to him multiple times. Great character, and he's definitely the right man to lead such a competitive team such as Black Arts Racing. So the track temperature has increased. There has been some rainfall overnight. There's a possible hint of rain in the air during the course of the weekend. But the drivers will get to grips with the circuit. They will have another race which will take place tomorrow at 2:55 local time here in Thailand, which is GMT +7. So wherever you're watching in the world, thank you so much for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. Really looking forward to seeing some of the young talents from this side of the globe. I had the opportunity to head over to Malaysia, funny enough, to the Sepang karting circuit for the IAME Series Asia. Of course, there'll be a lot of drivers that'll be competing at that round of that championship this weekend at the Birria circuit in Thailand. But it is now the case of, can Ayrton Astadon make a big impression and also cause the first upset of the season? Seth Gilmore, the Australian teammate of Alex Sawyer from Vietnam, was trying to do his best in qualifying, managed to be 1.6 seconds off of Ayrton Astadon, who, as I said, in the last throes of qualifying yesterday, he managed to go purple in the opening sector by a tenth over his previous try, where he set a 1:38.178, but ended up spinning off the circuit and nudging the front wing out of place. So the drivers now come through out of turn 18 and 19, and then we'll go through into the quick right-hander as they accelerate out of turn 19, and then it will be coming on to the start-finish straight here at Bang Sen. So we're at the halfway point of the championship season. Evans GP lead the team standings on 288 points, followed by Black Arts Racing on 159. Star Performance on 66 and Origin Motorsport 57 points. Alex Sawyer leads by 80 points from Seth Gilmore in the championship standings. Leading rookie from the Philippines is Inigo Anton on 85 points, just one ahead of the young Indian hotshot Rishon Rajiv. Wang Zhongwei rounds out the top 5 as the anticipation builds as the drivers start to line up. It will be a standing start, and there is the man who's done 6 out of 6 so far. First at Sepang, then Buriram. Now, can he complete the double here? As the battle for Bang Sen will commence rather shortly. Air temperature just over 30 degrees centigrade here in the eastern part of Thailand. As everyone now into position, green flag waves at the back. 5-second board. The revs will start to build here by the beachfront as the 5 red lights, they go on. 5 red lights are out and we're underway. Good start. Oh, well, what can you say about that one? Rocket ship launch from Seth Gilmore as they head down to turn 1 for the first time. Great start by the Aussie. He threaded the eye of the needle as they head through, up through Monkey Hill, down at turn 2. It's a 90 left. They've got to be very, very careful of the barriers. But up the hill they go for the first time. But Seth Gilmore with an absolute rocket ship start from the inside of the second row as they go into turn 6. Very much a reverse of the Melco hairpin at Macau. But it is going to be straight line traffic as they'll accelerate and onto the back straightaway. Heading down in towards the 90 right here at turn number 8. So hard on the brakes, snip the apex on the inside, and then it's carried through at 9. Then this is where you build the momentum. You've got to have a bit of confidence with the setup in the car underneath you. But it's not going to be easy for Seth Gilmore. He has got to try and stride away early. But bearing in mind, this is a flat-out sprint race for 25 minutes, plus an additional lap. So this is where things get very, very crucial through into turn 17 at the Monument. And then it's going to be on the brakes into turns 18 and 19. The pit lane is pretty much straight in front of you as you break into turn 18. One of the Black Arts racing cars gets a little bit sideways. I think that was Rishon Rajiv, as they are now going to make their way across the line to complete the opening lap. Seth Gilmore leads Ayrton Astadon, who's got Alex Sawyer right on his tail coming across the line. And they round out the top 3 into turn 1. Then it's going to be hard on the brakes, and Sawyer looking for the move up the inside at turn 2. And this particular occasion can't get the job done. So the Evans Grand Prix Championship leader now having to stay in third at the moment. Alex Sawyer has got to pick his points as to when he can go through, but Seth Gilmore doing a solid job of trying to keep everyone else at bay. Ayrton Astadon made his debut in the series last time out at Buriram and made an impression. And here at the moment, he's definitely making one here on home soil. So Gilmore leads from Astadon. Sawyer in third. Rajiv and Anton round out your top 5. Wang Zhongwei, the Origin Motorsport number 22, currently still sitting in 6th, which is exactly where he qualified before smacking the barriers. But look at Sawyer. He's all over the back bumper of Astadon at the moment and cannot find a way past. Now they're going to go down in towards turn 18 and 19 very shortly through the Monument at 17. Sawyer's trying everything in the playbook at the moment, but Astadon trying to defend. Sawyer up the inside at turn 18, and he's through. Great move there from the Vietnamese driver. But now he's got to battle his teammates as they come across the line. That's lap 2 in the books. And Sawyer with the new fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 40.869. Gap between the top 3. So, car 44, Warapong Enwichan is under investigation for possible start procedure infringement. But at this moment, it is the battle at the front end of the field. The top 3 covered by about 1.2 seconds. Rishon Rajiv from Black Arts Racing is trying to close in what is a 2.2 second disadvantage, as these 3 are line astern coming out of turn number 6 and then into 7. Now it's all the way down the backstretch into turn number 8. And now Sawyer has got to try and put a move early on teammate Gilmore. But one of the big things that you don't want to do, you can race your teammate, but don't take out anybody in your team out on the circuit, because that's going to cause a little bit of friction after the race. Oh, Sawyer's got into the back of Gilmore and he's off. Sawyer is down and hard into the barriers off of turn number 15. The run is over for the Vietnamese driver from Evans Grand Prix, and head in the hands at Evans Grand Prix. That is more than likely going to bring out a potential safety car, but that is a hard hit. He was right over the back of Seth Gilmore, launched over the right rear, and with just over 5 minutes completed, Alex Sawyer is out, and that means we are going to have a new race winner here at race 1. Safety car has been deployed by race control. Thomas Yu Lee, you were very, very close. And I think he might have just caused a little bit of damage to the right-hand side of his front wing, as we've got the safety car now out on circuit. Let's have a look at the replay. And yeah, Sawyer went to the outside. Gilmore was shutting the door. And a lot of impact on the barrier on the right-hand side, straight into the Tech Pro barriers. They've done their job. So has the Halo. Well, that is a good sign to see Alex Sawyer out of the car on his own power. But that is going to give the team at Evans Grand Prix, the Australian squad run by Josh Evans, a lot of work ahead of tomorrow's race. So that is going to be a no score. So, and Warapong Aimwichan has just been handed a 5-second time penalty for a start procedure infringement, as now dictated by race control. So this gives Rishon Rachiv, Inigo Anton, Wang Zhongwei, and everyone else behind an opportunity to go for a podium, as Alex Young takes a look at his laptop. So, a hard impact. You can see the back suspension absolutely twisted on the car. That means possible new gearbox replacement. Yeah, there's a big job on the hands of, and there is actually an investigation underway for the contact between Seth Gilmore and Alex Sawyer. But it looks like coolant has been, or with the severity of the impact that just transpired with Alex Sawyer going over the right rear wheel of Seth Gilmore's car. Seth might have gotten away with that one, because it looked like the only impact I saw was on the right rear tyre. But the safety car will now bunch up the entire field and bring the race to a neutralisation point. So the drivers will be communicated to by their race engineers in the pit lane. Very pensive looking Alex Young there. But of course now the focus is on his drivers, which are Rishon Rajiv, who now has been promoted to P3. Inigo Anton from the Philippines, now 4th. Ben Nguyen from Vietnam. now currently in 6th position. Wang Zhongwei, the only Chinese driver on the field for Origin Motorsport, who also compete in other championships such as the China GT Championship. So good to see that they are trying to bring younger talents through the ranks. And as you can see, there's a lot of people in the grandstands here at Bang Seng Street Circuit. Wonderful to see that motorsport is thriving in Southeast Asia. It's a wonderful part of the world. I've had the opportunity myself personally to visit Thailand, and also there you see all the cars that have been displayed just by the waterfront. Looks like they're going to be vacating the premises here at the Bang Seng Street Circuit. Of course, Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, part of the support bill this weekend. This is the first time that Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship, certified by FIA, has joined this particular jewel in this wonderful little jewel in the crown, so to speak. And lots, as I said, because we're by the waterside, it is going to be a very, very hot and humid weekend here. So a lot of racing, very compact timetable. But we have just over 15 minutes to go, plus an additional lap of this opening race. So this is race 7. And there you see by the overhead shot, the damage to Alex Sawyer's number 12, Tatas T421. So it is going to be 25 points for a win. There's only 2 races this weekend, so this is going to be quite crucial. There you see there's another kind of car park, as in people waiting to get out, I think, or they're probably just rearranging the display. Multiple different grandstand points here at the circuit as the safety car continues to lead the drivers around this circuit, run in an anti-clockwise direction. Also, we've got good old Lightning McQueen on show here as well, along with some of the other characters from Cars. And the Porsche cavalcade is making its way through the traffic. There's a lot of organisation that goes into organising the Bang Seng Grand Prix every single year. So, right, Thomas Yu Lee has now dived into pit lane. So I think that's probably to change the front wing on the car. Did have a little bit of contact. I think it might have been with either Ben Nguyen or possibly Wang Zhongwei. So drivers starting to weave from side to side. So we'll have, there we go, Thomas Yu Lee having a new front wing fitted by the team at Evans Grand Prix. And now, has he? Oh, right, okay, they just had to sort of bump start it a little bit there. They're telling him, no, hang on, you've got to wait. He can't go past the line. It's only when he's allowed to go out, which he's being told to do now. The rest of the field being led by the safety car. Now go through turn 6. So, safety car in this lap. So, we should probably have around about 11 or so minutes plus an additional lap of racing. So, your restart order will be Seth Gilmore from Evans Grand Prix, ahead of Star Performance's Ayrton Astadorn. Rishon Rajiv for Black Arts Racing, leading Filipino rookie teammate Inigo Anton. Then it's Origin Motorsports' Wang Zhongwei, followed by Ben Nguyen, also from Black Arts Racing. Warapong Aimwichan, the teammate of Ayrton Astadorn, will make the restart in 7th, with Thomas Yu Lee down in 8th. As unfortunately 2 laps and Alex Sawyer's run of success, 6 wins out of 6. The first 3 at Sepang at the season opener, and then last time out at Buriram. That success rate has come to an abrupt and very, very violent end. But the main thing is, Alex is all okay. We saw him getting out of the car under his own power. Now the focus is on the restart. The drivers now making their way past the monument at turn 17. Seth Gilmore becomes the pace car here for the restart for race 7 of the 2025 F4 Southeast Asia Championship, certified by FIA season, as he is going to get things underway very, very shortly. Out through turn number 19, Gilmore's gone for it. He's gone hammer down. And now has got a good few car lengths. So, green flag, we're back underway here in race number 1. Here for the Battle of Bangsan. And into turn 1 they go before the hard braking zone. Into the left-hander here at turn 2. And Astadorn knows that he's got a bit of a tall mountain to climb to get past Seth Gilmore from Australia. Now on the run down to turn number 6. And Astadorn is all over the rear wing of Gilmore. And Rishon Rajiv looking to lead the Black Arts Racing charge of the cavalry, so to speak, with Inigo Anton just behind, as they now make their way through into the infield section at the far part of the circuit, just by the beachfront. You can just see how close they get to the barriers here at certain points. Wonderful overhead shot from the Skycam, but Astadorn went nearly 3/10 quicker in the opening sector than Gilmore, so the chase is on through past the monument at turn 17, now into the final couple of corners. Hard on the brakes, turn into 18 and 19. Oh, Gilmore's just gone way wide, and Astadorn's round the outside. The Thai driver leads the race with just under 10 minutes to go. A big mistake there from Seth Gilmore from Evans Grand Prix. And Ayrton Astadorn now leads for Star Performance. And what does this mean? Rishon Rajiv is also in competition for the race victory. They've got to be very, very careful on this circuit. Of course, we're going to have a look here. This is when Seth Gilmore just ran deep, didn't turn in early enough, and then Astadorn round the outside, going through into turn 20, made it work and nailed the apex. Through into turn 6, and Astadorn, oh, careful on how you apply the power, young sir. Nearly got the back end switching to the right-hand side, and could have been very close to hitting the barriers with the right rear going on to turn 7. Into turn 8, the 90-degree right-hander off of the backstretch, as Rajiv and Anton line astern at the moment. So 8 minutes and 40 to go, plus an additional lap. Ayrton Astadorn from Star Performance. This is really going to help him in terms of trying to close in on Inigo Anton. Now, Astadorn, after his debut at Buriram last time out, scored 55 points. This will get him closer to Inigo Anton in terms of the rookie side of things, because Anton is currently P3 and is 30 points ahead of the Thai driver. As you can see, the sunshine helping the track to evolve here at Bangsan, and more to the point, it's going to help the drivers in terms of confidence, and especially with the warmth from the circuit underneath, which will probably be getting closer and closer to 40 degrees centigrade track temperature. And now Ayrton Astadorn has got a lead, and it's going to over 1.3 seconds. The Thai driver has definitely got the opportunity to pull away and take a maiden victory on home soil. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:39.722. Inigo Anton closing in on Black Arts Racing teammate Rishon Rajiv. I think probably if I was thinking, if I was in the place of Alex Young, I would want my drivers to finish on the circuit, and that would be good points, because when you think about it, Thomas Yuli down in 8th. There'll be no points scored by Alex Sawyer, and Seth Gilmore will also score points, so this will help Black Arts Racing to close the gap to Evans Grand Prix. Not by much, but hopefully to give them a little bit of motivation for not just tomorrow, but also the final 2 rounds of the championship season. And more to the point, well, Ayrton Astadorn is going to be the first driver outside of Alex Sawyer, and will be the first rookie overall winner of this season so far. He is just absolutely commanding proceedings right now. It was all because of one slight mistake, and it can happen. You're under pressure, and especially when some drivers might have come. You know, the thing is, there's a lot of undulation here at the circuit. It's very bumpy. This is a street circuit. This is not like the circuits that we've been to, Buriram and Sepang. It's been a very steep learning curve for all the drivers here. As there is the number 22, Wang Zhongwei. You can see it's an all-black stealth livery in comparison to what we had in qualifying yesterday. Black with chrome red. And, well, the team had a lot of work to do after qualifying yesterday, after Wang Zhongwei put it in the barriers. And there is Wadapong Aimwichan, the teammate of current race leader Ayrton Astadorn. And they will both score, I think they both will score championship points. And that will help Star Performance expand their advantage over Origin Motorsport from China. So 5 minutes to go, and Ayrton Astadorn is putting in qualifying style laps at the moment. He's just done a 1:39.442. Seth Gilmore's last lap time was a 1:39.879. The only 2 drivers that are going sub 1 minute 40s at the moment. I think if Alex Sawyer was still in this race, you can definitely guarantee that he would be running at the same pace, maybe even quicker than the 2 race leaders. The gap now expands to 1.9 seconds. And what can Seth Gilmore do in the next 4.25 minutes plus an additional lap? It's going to be a tall order, but you can see that he lost a little bit of momentum coming out of turn number 6. But Astadorn just now has the confidence. He's got no one in front of him. As they go through turn 8, it's a very tight section here at turn 8 and 9, and then it starts to become a bit like a beachfront snake complex. I mean, if anyone knows the circuit, the Suzuka International Racing Course, the home of the Japanese Grand Prix, it kind of echoes that a little bit, but with a street circuit twist, let's say. But at the moment, the way that Ayrton Astadorn is running around this circuit, over the last 2 sectors, he's expanded his lead, possibly by another 0.6 of a second, as they are going to come across the line very, very shortly, with just over 3 minutes and 10 to go. So we're probably looking at maybe a total of 14 laps being completed. So gap now 2.245 seconds. So yeah, so we will be looking at a total of 14 laps, total race distance. And Ben Yuin is also closing in on Wang Zhongwei. We've got a replay coming up here. Well, I thought we had a replay coming up here. Yes, that is for... Oh, now, Wadapong Aimwichan has just rearranged the front end of that car, and that's exactly... Well, it's nearly at the exact same place. And the safety car has been deployed, and I think we're going to be finishing underneath this, but Wadapong Aimwichan has just gone straight on at turn 15 and has hit the barriers. So that car has got broken steering, broken front wishbone suspension. You can see the Yeah, you can see that the left front wheel, the top part of it is cambered to the top, so that is going to conclude it. I think under safety car conditions, we'll await the word from race control, but drama at turn 15 that has been the corner that has caught two of our drivers out, and both have ended up finishing out of the race. The only other one was turn 18 and 19, courtesy of Seth Gilmore. But that, I think, could be bringing us towards the end of the race itself. The field is making its way now through and towards turn number 15. So safety car deployed for the second time. So we will run to 0 on the clock. So the main thing is that Wadapong Aimwichan, it was just an unfortunate mistake. Let's not forget a very, very young team in Star Performance. So the beginning of this race was absolutely fantastic. Seth Gilmore did exactly what he needed to do, and this is going to give Rishon Rajiv a podium for Black Arts Racing, led by the man in the centre of your screens for just a moment, Alex Young. So we are counting down the seconds, and I think we are now, whether they are, depending on how long it takes for Wadapong Aimwichan's car to be cleared off of turn 15, which is basically going to be at the other end of the circuit. So Wadapong Aimwichan, all okay, escorted by the marshalling team. Big thank you to the marshal and recovery teams, the men and women that volunteer their services to help us race wherever we are in the world. A big thank you to them for their service as always. So the timer has now expired. The 25 minutes are up here at race 7 of the 2025 F4 Southeast Asia Championship, certified by FIA as the Air Crane. Kind of reminds me of the Macau Grand Prix. Of course, that'll be happening in the in that locality with regards to the Macau Grand Prix later on this year. So now I'm wondering if now safety car in this lap, so we could have 3.74 kilometers of racing, and what this could mean is that Seth Gilmore might have another bite of the cherry on top of the Black Forest Gatto cake. But it also gives an opportunity, if it does, if we're going to have one final lap of racing. Now, Alex Young on the radio, and is going to be talking, I think, to both Rishon and Inigo, Rajiv and Anton, to say, okay, guys, if you want to go for this podium, race each other hard and fair, but don't take each other out. We've already seen the Evans GP team suffer a drama with Gilmore and Sawyer having contact on lap 2 at turn 15. So 2 safety car interventions, 2 dramas with 2 cars going out, especially the championship lead, Alex Sawyer. But it is going to be Ayrton Astadorn that is going to lead the field past the monument here at turn 17 very shortly. We're still under safety car conditions, and Gilmore's got to wait until Astadorn decides to go for it. The anticipation is palpable right about now, because they are going to come out of turn number 19. Here we go, final lap, and we are green here at Bangsen. Astadorn goes for it. Gilmore trying to close on in. Anton trying to go on Ranjiv as they're heading down into turns 1 and 2. The Black Arts Racing cars side by side. Will Gilmore try and do what he can? Anton to the outside of Rajiv, and he won't get through into turn 2 for the final time. And Ayrton Astadorn holds off Seth Gilmore from Evans Grand Prix as they head down to turn 6. Incredible stuff by the driver from Thailand for Star Performance, Inigo Anton. Right all over the rear wing of his teammate from Black Arts Racing, Rishon Rajiv from India. As they now go down the back straightaway for the final time. 5th place, Wang Zhongwei from China for Origin Motorsports. Could he pick up the pieces if there's drama in the battle for P3 for the final step on the podium? But what a commanding, what a calm performance. Despite the pressures of being on home soil, it is going to erupt the crowd here at Bang Sen as part of the Bang Sen Grand Prix. Because this man here, who would have thought it? You could have said that Seth Gilmore would have been the one that would have broken his teammates' winning streak here in the 2025 season. But what a drive, Star Performance, and also the number 51, Ayrton Astadorn, out of the final corner. He's a race winner in F4 Southeast Asia here in Bang Sen on home soil. And what a job by the crew from Star Performance. They have a bona fide rookie driver that is now an F4 Southeast Asia Championship race winner. Seth Gilmore takes 2nd ahead of Rishon Rajiv and Inigo Anton rounding out your top 4. Wang Zhongwei in 5th, but well, what can you say? One of Thailand's very own has just taken the victory here at one of the premier events here in this neck of the woods on home soil. But Ayrton Astadorn, all he had to do on that restart when we went racing on the final lap was to keep Seth Gilmore at bay. And that is exactly what he did. After Wang Zhongwei, Ben Nguyen and Thomas Yuli crossed the line in 6th and 7th. Of course, 2 retirements here at Bang Sen. So Ayrton Astadorn takes the victory ahead of Evans Grand Prix' Seth Gilmore, with Black Art Racing's Rishon Rajiv from India rounding out your top 3. Inigo Anton making it a 3-4 for Black Arts Racing, with Wang Zhongwei completing the top 5. Ben Nguyen for Black Arts Racing in the top 6 ahead of Thomas Yuli from the USA. Wadapong Aimwichan out on lap 10 at turn 15, going straight on into the barriers. And the biggest incident that we have seen so far in F4 Southeast Asia this weekend, Alex Sawyer, the championship leader, his run of race victories is now a distant memory. And you can see there is a bit of a breeze in the air here at Bang Sen, just by the seaside. But, well, the driver's now on their official cool-down lap, heading into pit lane. And it's going to be a wonderful sight to see very, very shortly when Star Performance greets their man, Ayrton Astadorn, who is going to start from pole position for race 2 tomorrow. Oh, have we got a little bit of an upset in this championship season? But the biggest drama, I'm sure that there is going to be a lot of talk between Seth Gilmore and Alex Sawyer and the team at Evans Grand Prix after this race. But now being escorted down into the pit lane, maximum speed of 40 kilometers an hour. There you see the Eastern Thai coastline. Wonderful part of the world. Wonderful part of the world. You've got mountains, hills in the background, hotels, and wonderful lush green Thai forestry as far as the eye can see. A lot of pomp and circumstance here at Bang Sen for this event. And FIA F4 Southeast Asia Championship, just a part of it. So let's have a look back at the highlights. The drivers are all smiles and ready to get the battle for Bang Sen underway here on the East Thai coastline. And well, straight off the bat, Evans Grand Prix, Seth Gilmore threaded the eye of the needle at the start, managed to get into the race lead. And then it was a case of championship leader, Alex Sawyer, trying to do his level best to get through on Ayrton Astrodon. Got through on the early stages and then would start to charge at his teammate. But this moment here, coming into turn 15, saw the number 12's chances of a 7th successive race victory go straight into the barriers and be swept under the carpet. Main thing was the driver from Vietnam all okay, but the safety car will be deployed for not the only time in this 25-minute plus an additional lap race. A mistake here from Seth Gilmore allowed Ayrton Astrodon to get through at the final corner of this 3.74 mile circuit, putting smiles on the faces of the team at Star Performance. Gilmore would do his best to try and close on in, but Ayrton Astrodon would keep his calm head on cool shoulders, while his teammate Anwar Chan would bring out the safety car for the final time. One more lap of racing, and Ayrton Astrodon becomes the first rookie winner in 2025. Well, that's it here at Bang Sen for race 1. Join us for race 2 at 2:55 p.m. local time as we continue the battle at Bang Sen. Goodbye for now.